And today I'm going to do a demonstration of a winter wreath. So it's not really a Christmas wreath, but I'm going to bring a little bit of a Christmassy touch into it. So it is more of a winter wreath. And this is from your own garden. So Deirdre went out into the garden last night and she literally picked lots of the seeded ivy heads, you know, there were lots of that, little bits of the black pittosporum and also some branches of eucalyptus. And what I've just done there earlier, I just cut it up and I've wound them all, like literally using real wire, just wound a bit of wire around the end of all the bunches, cut the wire again, and I've all these bunches made up. So she brought in a plastic bag of it, cut it up, and I got 26 bunches. Because people always say to me, how many bunches are you going to use? If you were to say to me, do you know how many bunches would I recommend? I'd probably say 32. But I've only got 26, but I'm going to try and make do. So it's a bit like watch this space and see what happens. So anybody that's watching, what we'd like to do is obviously to get the notifications out there and let people know that we're live. Can you start commenting underneath? And this is where I normally ask, like, comment underneath, where are you watching in from? What part of the world are you watching in from? And always it's nice to know what's the weather like in your part of the country. The sun is kind of trying to come out here in Dublin. It was raining earlier on, you know that way, but it's dry at the moment. But I have to say it's a cold day. So Deirdre picked up some Christmassy t-shirts. So we have a nice pink Santa one here today. And she said to me, here, wear the Christmas t-shirt. And I said, it's okay for you to say, wear the Christmas t-shirt. And it's bloody freezing here in the school. And I just see she's after whipping up my jumper that I had on there earlier. And she has it across her shoulders. So again, anyone that's watching, comment underneath. Let us know where you're watching in from and what the weather is like. Make us jealous.
Geraldine is watching in from East Cork. She says it's sunny, but it's cold. It's actually a bit sunny here. It's not too bad here.
Yeah, I think the sun is trying to get out. You know what I mean? It's cloudy. But I tell you,
Patricia is watching in from Berlin and it's snow and it's freezing.
Wow.
Deirdre is watching in from Ardee in County Louth, and I see there was somebody watching in from Philadelphia there over on our Instagram. And Julie is watching in from a very sunny Stratfordshire over in the UK.
There you go. So you can see there you're at to get the who needs to tell.
Up in Donegal, it's nice and dry, but the sun is shining.
Brilliant.
And it's cold.
Oh, that's great. Fair play to you. And also, if you know anybody that likes flower arranging, or maybe would like that, you think to say, God, they might be interested in making their own winter door wreath, why don't you tag them there in the comments? Or again, as I said, share it to your own page. Or if you're in a flower arranging group, share it to your flower arranging group.
Botanical Lane is watching in from Australia. I'm sure it's probably warm over there. Don't think it's this there.
You get your summer, don't you? So you're probably melting over there, making us jealous. Now, for a base, you can either use a straw base, okay? This is quite a small base, but these come in different sizes, okay? So lots of the suppliers out there sell all these bases. Or you can use a twig base, okay? Sometimes people like the look of a twig base. And again, you can make a twig base yourself with lots and lots of branches and a roll of real wire. Like that's basically how these ones are made. But again, they can all be bought in from the wholesalers. So people are always asking us, where can we buy the materials? So if you happen to be around Dublin, wholesaleflowers.ie, you can pop into them, okay? Use the discount code KAYSFS for K's Flower School, and you'll get, I think it's a 10% discount right across the board. You can get fresh flowers, you can get foliage, and you can get all of the material that I'm using today. You can even get fresh bunches of foliage if you don't want to take the foliage out of your own garden. If you prefer to buy online, you have Evergreen Silk Plants up in Ardee, County Louth, and you have O'Neill's Flowers in Carlingford, also in County Louth. And both of them will ship online. Order your stuff online. If you're Ipwood Louth, you can call into them, obviously. They will ship the material to you all over Ireland and all over the UK. I'm not sure about after that.
But where's the fun in buying the foliage? Now, like, and I was out there this morning in the freezing cold, and as I was shaking the bush, the water was coming down on top of me.
You can see, look, it's still wet, it is. So normally what I do, that's not from the rain. Normally what I do to the greenery is when I've made the bunches, okay, is I actually dunk them all into a bucket of water. Because what I find, even though it was lashing rain here during the night, is the greenery takes in a huge amount of water through its leaves. So by leaving it soaked in the bucket of water, it really, really hydrates it. and you'll find then all this greenery is going to dry out on this door wreath. This door wreath will last a good month, into up to 5 weeks. So you can use it for Christmas if you want to. The ivy is brilliant for drying out. The eucalyptus is just fantastic for drying out. And the black pittsform, the tom-tom, that dries out brilliantly. The only thing I don't like about it is the leaves are inclined to fall off. So normally when I tie a door wreath on my door and I have like a porchway, every time I open the whole door, there's a few more of them little flittery leaves, you know what I mean, being blown into the hole. So that's the only thing that I don't like about the black tom-tom. Now I'm going to use the twig base. Go on.
Adeline is saying, hi Jeanette, she's watching here from RD, from her kitchen sink.
Brilliant.
She's doing the dishes.
Doing the dishes, fair play to you. Any chance of coming down to my kitchen there now and doing a few dishes down there as well. So what I'm just doing there to attach on the reel wire, okay, you can see there it's just wrapping around the same spot about half dozen times. You see the way, and then it's attached. Now, a few little tips for you. Whatever side you're going to work on, okay, keep it near your stomach. I see an awful lot of people in videos there on Facebook, and they're making their door wreaths, and it's over there, and you're working over yourself. You're making things so much more difficult for yourself, and especially if you're a right-handed person, which the majority of you are, okay? So always have the sides that you're working on, have that close to your stomach. And speaking about door wreaths, this coming Saturday, we have our Christmas wreath making class. So this is where you can come along. We'll give, I won't say a glass of mulled wine because it's a paper cup we're giving you, but you'll get a paper cup of mulled wine. Deirdre's going to be making homemade mince pies. They just mightn't be made in her home. They'll be in
somebody's home. They have a little deluxe, they're deluxe ones.
Yeah, one
like
up
that.
there doing the kitchen sink there. She's probably making the
She's making the mince pies for us.
They might detour through Little or Aldi or whatever, but we'll have homemade mince pies. We'll have paper cups of mulled wine. We'll have the cup of tea or the cup of coffee for anyone that would prefer it, you know, that way. And we might even have a little iced bun for anyone that doesn't like mince pies. It's guaranteed to be a great bit of crack. We have 2 sessions. We have a 12 o'clock session, 12 till 2, and we have the afternoon session, 3 till 5, okay? There's 2 places left in the morning session and 2 places left, well, it's a lunchtime session really, and there's 2 places left in the evening session. So the handiest thing to do is drop us an email, info@caseflourschool.com, if you're interested in taking one of them places, or again, just go to our website, www.caseflourschool.com, and click on the Christmas button and you'll get all the details.
Yvonne says she's watching it from Wales. She should be changing beds for visitors that are coming at the weekend, but she
Visitors coming at the weekend.
She can't resist watching us.
Brilliant.
Vera Furlong in Rosslare is watching in as well. I see that there.
We might see you tomorrow. We're actually heading down tonight. We're actually heading down to Wexford tonight. We're staying in the Talbot Hotel in, I was going to say Stillorgan, in Wexford town. So just to show you, what I'm doing here is I'm placing the bunches on an angle, do you see, onto the twig vase. Just kind of placing them there on an angle, and then I'm wrapping the reel wire around. This is so simple. You can talk away. Your one can even continue washing her dishes when she's doing it.
Marion said she's watching you from the car in Roscommon. She says she's never done a wreath like this before.
This is so easy, and you can use any base. Like I've used moss bases, I've used eucalyptus bases, where on our YouTube channel I show you where you can make a base out of your pussy willow, out of your eucalyptus, out of your birch twigs.
There's actually a playlist on YouTube. So if you go onto our YouTube channel, for those of us that are not watching us on YouTube, but later on if you go onto our YouTube channel and look at the playlist, and you'll see a playlist that's dedicated to wreaths. There's summer, winter, dried, fresh. There's everything there.
Because people are always asking us, you know, when they're booking onto the commercial programme, and they'll say, do you teach us how to make door wreaths on the module 1 or 2 or 3 or 4? And we say no, because I've loads of free classes out there on how to make like door wreaths for spring wreaths, summer wreaths, wedding wreaths, autumn wreaths, winter wreaths. These are all like free classes. So there's no need to actually come and pay, you know what I mean? And then all you have to do is buy your reel wire, buy your bunches of wires, you know, that way, for your decoration. And again, decide what sort of base that you're going to use. So you can see the way I'm continuing on, adding the bunches, okay, on a slant. So each bunch is barely.
You might just hold it up, Jeanette, when you have a look. Wendy is watching it from Kent, and it's lovely and sunny over there. And Deer Park Florist, Heavenly Flowers for Moy, says, hi ladies. Who's it?
I think it's Bridget.
Is it?
I think it's
from Sunny for Moy.
So when you're adding them in on a slant, you kind of get a little gap, you see in here. So So what I did down there was I added in a bunch sideways, and I'm now going to do that now. So I'm just adding in a little bunch, you see, kind of like in there on the side, and it covers the mechanics, you see, of where you, well, probably you can't see up close, but when I'm close here, I can see where I'm wrapping on these bunches. So every fourth one approximately, I just add in a little bunch on a slant. I just catch the end of it there with the reel wire. It makes the wreath now look much chunkier because I'm now gone to the inside of the wreath, you know, that just to show you, see what it looks like. And so far I've used about 10 bunches, you know, that way, just to kind of give you an idea. So I'll continue on working around, you know, that way, with my bunches. Like you can see there's even a little bit of trail of ivy in there, you know, that way. You can use absolutely anything. So if somebody is watching and they have foliage growing in their garden and they're wondering, would that work? Just comment underneath. Tell us what you have, you know, that way, what kind of bunches or what type of greenery have you got growing in your garden. And I'll be able to tell you whether it's suitable or not.
And just there's a lot of people watching in on TikTok at the moment. Hiya, Irene. And somebody else was saying, oh my God, this is amazing. Somebody is asking Jeanette that can they just buy a small bunch of wires in a flower shop, or do they sell stuff or anything like that? Where would they
You can go to a local flower shop, you can go to your garden centres. They normally all sell them in small quantities. But what we do have, they're actually up on our website. Haven't got them organised, and I know if I pulled something here, see what they all about. Okay, these are wire rings. Okay, so that twig base that I showed you, that was actually made on one of these wire ring bases. Okay, and the real wire, okay, as you can see, I'm attaching on the stuff. So if you're going to attach on your own straw or your own twigs, okay, you also use the real wire for that. So on our website, I'll put the link up later on, but if Celine or Noreen is watching, they might help me out here. We do have a link on our sundries for sale. So it's a little button on the website, sundries for sale. And there's a link there where you can buy a kit. And it has the 3 wire rings in the packet. It has a small bunch of the wires. It has a roll of the real wire. And there's a roll of organza ribbon, I think, isn't it?
That's it, yeah.
Yeah. I think the organza ribbon is just a neutral green colour then if you want to put a bow on it. So I should have really had that organised beforehand.
Yeah, we weren't thinking.
As
somebody is saying the range have a selection of flowery stuff as well. Yvonne says, I wish I was in Dublin with my father and mother. Coming from Dublin, I have strong feelings for the country. My granny used to have a flower stall in Moore Street in the 20s,
nice.
30s. Obviously, flowers is in her genes. Breed wants to know bay leaf tree. Could she use that?
Yes, that would be perfect. And again, great lasting. Absolutely last for ages. Because that's kind of what you want. You want to be, again, just to let you see how this is turning out. And this is what it looks like on the back, you know, that way. So the back is still nice. But you know, if that was still a moss base or a straw base, it'd be absolutely perfect. The reason I just took down the straw base, when I only made 26 bunches, I said, oh God, will I have enough? Because normally I'd say 32. And I know by looking here, I have enough. But Deirdre, obviously she was rushing when she was cutting the
I was freezing and I was drowned.
Okay. And she cut nice big chunky pieces. I say she probably said, instead of cutting loads of little small ones, I'll just cut whoppers here. So the bunches that I made, I was able to make them quite big. So when I was laying them out on the table just before I started, I said, you know what, I think I'll have enough to do the bigger base. The bigger base was probably a 12-inch ring, which is about the size of the metal rings I showed you there earlier on.
Paula says it looks stunning already, even with just foliage. I think the mixed foliage.
This is it. Like, I have some decorations to put on it, you know what I mean? But if you want to just leave it all foliage, like, and again, like, I always have a door wreath on my door. I have a Christmas one up at the moment, but it's up about 2 weeks already. But it's a Christmas one, but it's decorated in pink. It's a bit different. And probably in another week or two, I'll probably replace it and just put up a different one, just in a different colour. More because it's my business and I might as well show off that I am able to make them. So,
and also, I'm going to tell the truth, she has a crack in her glass, so she has to cover that too.
That's the main reason why I always have a door. I have a crack in my glass door about, 2 years now. Anyone that's watching there, you know the way, you could nearly break into my house with the crack in the door. So I always tie a door wreath on the door to cover the crack. It's not even a crack, there's actually the glass is broken. My husband is watching.
Susanna says good morning from Orlando. She's watching in.
Good morning, Susanna. That's our Susanna.
Yeah, and Valerie says welcome back from America. Hope you had a great time. They love the yellow dresses.
An absolute ball we had, yeah. And the yellow wasn't that bad in the end, like, you know what I mean? Because, like, yellow is not a colour I normally, to be honest, I didn't even own a pair of yellow knickers, you know that way. And I was wondering, I said, oh God, like, what's it going to be like? But we plastered ourselves with a bit of false tan, you know that way. Because the Irish skin complexion, it's probably not the best colour. But listen, it worked out really well. Now, when you get to your last bunch, okay, what I would advise you to do is pick up your first bunch and slide your last bunch kind of in underneath it, okay? And when you're bringing the wire around, don't just squash the wire around like that because you'll flatten everything down. But if you wiggle the wire kind of in between them so you're not flattening it down, and then you're catching the end of the bunch, you know that way, and pull it nice and tight, it'll really secure it. And again, just to make sure, again, we call this wiggle and wangle, okay? So like wiggle the wire in between the little branches and then just catch it. But also what I want to do is I want to get one more piece on the inside, you know what I mean, to cover in the mechanics. And I have to say I made out really well. So I'll have 3 bunches left. So if anybody asks me, this took 23 bunches. But now they were good fine bunches, okay?
Valerie's saying she loves the fullness of the wreath. Catherine Berla's on, she says she's loving the foliage. Shana's watching in from Wales and she's saying she's absolutely mad about it, jumping on decorations on it.
Oh, okay.
Angela Clark, Petals by Angela Clark, I see her up on Instagram and she's loving it too.
Ah, brilliant. Listen, thanks a million for all the lovely comments. And remember, as I said, we'd love if you shared it, okay? So what I'm then going to do, if this was a straw base, I normally would cut the wire, I'd make a U-bend and I'd stick it up into the straw or up into the moss, okay? But when it's a twig base like I have here, I'm just going to fish the piece of spare wire in through the metal frame because I can still see it. So just catch it in there 2 or 3 times, probably twice will be enough, or even around the actual twig itself. And that's just to tighten that off, you know what I mean? And then I'm sticking the spare piece back into the frame so it won't scratch the door. And then that's our wreath frame there made. So that's going to look lovely on my door now, won't it? Covering that nice big crack.
That's going for on my door. You got last week's one. Anne Louise wants to know, she wants to buy her mum a gift voucher. She's done module 1. She wants to buy her a gift voucher for module 2. Is there somewhere on the website?
There is. There's a gift voucher button at the very end. It's in the small writing down the end, okay? And you just click on that and you can buy the vouchers from 20, 50
25,
euros.
yeah, 20 multiples of 25.
Yeah, so if you want to buy more than 25 euros, say you want to buy a €100 voucher, you buy 4.25.
And actually what happened last year with the gift vouchers, you remember, Jeanette, a lot of different family members bought the gift vouchers for the mothers or and do you remember that guy down in was it Leeds or somewhere like that, and his family bought the vouchers for him as well for Christmas.
So it is a good idea if somebody there is planning on doing one of their online programs after Christmas, you could ask your family members to buy you vouchers, you know, that way. So again, a couple of different people could buy you vouchers and then you could put them together, send them on to us, and that's them little feckin' black leaves. I tell you, they do fall off, but still they look nice. So I am going to add a little bit of decoration, but I'm just going to do not much, and I'm going to do what we call groups, okay? So these little apples, you can buy them in any of the wholesalers that I mentioned, like wholesaleflowers.ie. And by the way, these could be real apples. You could stick a kebab stick onto them and then just force the kebab stick into the frame and it would hold it. But these come in with the wire on them. Now sometimes when you're sticking in the wire with the twig base, you're trying to get down through the twigs. And where the wire comes through the opposite side, I'm just kind of like bending it and sticking it back up into the frame to secure it. So what I've just done there is just added, just a little group of just the 3 red apples just in that spot there. I also have some of the mandarin oranges. Now these are wired already, the dried ones. And again, you can buy these in any of the places I've just mentioned. So these are wired, so I'm sticking the wire down into the base. Now I had all the decorations prepared and organised, you know, that way, like wired up already. Because the past
Sinead must be on, she's put the link up for the gift vouchers.
Oh, perfect, Sinead. Sinead's put the link for the gift vouchers. She's eventually working.
She's eventually
working.
working.
Seen that Celine and Noreen are on a strike today, you know what I mean?
That's
she
it.
said, I better get out of the bed and do a bit of work here today.
Breed O'Connor's asking that it's fab. What kinds of foliage are used to get the gorgeous effect?
Ivy, so it's the seed-headed wild ivy that you'll get in any church, hospital, school grounds, nursing home, or just
side of the
road
road,
in your garden.
yeah, or the side of the road, yeah.
So again, see, I'll just put the 3 mandarin oranges there. So wild ivy with the seed head on it, that's what's kind of giving the little bit of movement in it. Eucalyptus, just eucalyptus from the garden, and the black pittosporum. And I was saying there at the beginning, if you get a chance to listen to it from the beginning, that the ivy and the eucalyptus just dries out brilliantly. Like, it's fabulous it is. That'll just dry out on the wreath, okay? The black pittosporum does dry out, but some of them little black leaves fall off. So that's what I was kind of giving out there a while ago, the way they are inclined to fall off. Now I have a couple of orange slices here, and again I have them wired, and I'm just putting again a little group. Now another way of doing this, and I've done loads of different wreaths, okay, is you can divide up the decorations, you know, kind of like more even. But I just thought I'd do it this way just for a change. Oh, I was saying to you that we're going to Wexford tonight, okay? So tomorrow in the Talbot Hotel in Stillorgan, there's going to be a social media festival, okay? And we're going to be speaking at it at the end of the day. But they're going to have speakers, experts. Well, we're kind of experts as well.
Well, sometimes.
Sometimes we are. But they're leaving us till the end. Hopefully half the people will be gone home. But they have experts on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and all the different social medias outlets out there, and talking and teaching you about them. So it is going to be amazing. And then towards the end of the evening, I don't think we're on till 4 o'clock, but towards the end of the evening we're on, and it's more kind of explaining how social media works for our business, you know, that way, and how we actually use it. So
and how lucky we are to have such amazing followers on social media.
Is it, you know, that way. Like, we're always saying that to people. I said, like, where would you get it that your followers, okay, Sinead got up out of the bed there to do a bit of work today for a change, but like, where would you get it that your followers post up your links? Like Noreen and Celine, you hear me talking about
and
them.
Bridget Fanning is posted away there as well, yeah.
There's a good few of you, Tracy, there's a good few of you. If I'm leaving anyone out, they're going to kill me, they are. But you know what, like the minute I say, like, the link to the website, the link to the vouchers, the link to such a thing, they're there posting.
Now wait till you hear this. Catherine Berla says, I have a 70-foot wall out the back covered in ivy if anybody wants some.
You just, now she's in Clondalkin, okay? So anybody, Dublin 22, Dublin 24, Rialto, Kilmaine and Ballyfermot, Inchicore, come on down, it's where else, Deirdre? You won't be far. So Catherine is going to put her air code and a photograph.
Do you want that wall stripped, Catherine?
She's going to put her air code up there, she is now. And all you need is a secretary.
No, I tell you, next week you're going to see Catherine Berla is going to be selling these wreaths of ivy from her 70-foot
and a black
wall.
sack, everyone, okay? And up to Catherine Berla's garden, up in Clondalkin there now to get your ivy. And do you know what? You could just do this in all ivy, Catherine. You don't have to do the...
And you know, give it another month or two, then
they'll go black.
Yeah, and it's gorgeous.
And once you get black, you'll never go back. They're absolutely gorgeous when they're black. And if you even give them a dash of gold spray, the little ball on them, do you know, that sort of way? See that they're nice bally ones there now. Just kind of hold a sheet of paper behind it, spray it gold or silver, and again it gives a little touch there. So I'm just putting little groups of cones just in here as well, again just adding an extra little bit of texture. Now I was saying there earlier that I've been posting lots of videos the last so of how to wire up the pine cones. So that's why I had all the preparation work done here today. How to wire up the mandrels, how to wire up the slices, and you'll find all of them videos on our YouTube channel. So just pop over there and have a look at them. And we've loads, as Deirdre said, there's a playlist, you know, that way, so you can pick the playlist, whichever one you want, and you can watch the videos on whether treatment and conditioning of flowers or how to make up the different wreaths.
Deirdre wants to know of an Instagram that she has a spotted laurel. How would that last?
Yeah, and that's a great laster as well. Personally, I'm not mad about the spotted laurel, but you know, when it comes to Easter and springtime, I think it's brilliant. I just find the yellow is a bit too yellow. I suppose maybe yellow's not our favourite colour. You know, like a Christmas yellow and red, you know, it's a bit Fisher
But again, you could give it a dash of gold and make it...
Give it a dash of gold,
it'd be
exactly.
easy to cover, yeah.
So, see if your neighbour next door got the plain green laurel, and if you put a bit of leaf shine on it, so you can buy leaf shine, haven't got it handy here, but like even baby oil on a cloth, okay, and rub it over the laurel leaves. Oh my God, like the shine and the glisten on them is absolutely gorgeous.
And Jeanette, just a quick reminder about the webinar, because we were preparing for that last night.
Oh, I tell you, that is coming together. It is going to be amazing. Because when we do the webinars, I'm just struggling here trying to get this last wire in. When we are doing the webinars, we have all these amazing ideas in our head. So we have this amazing idea for a suspended Christmas arrangement for going over this second wire won't go in, it's gone in somewhere.
And actually Valerie's just asking that, are you just sticking the wires in or are you wrapping it around?
No, they're sticking in, and every often I'm hitting something, and there's the wire coming through the other end, Valerie. Hopefully you can see that with my fingers. And all I'm doing is I'm bending it, and then I'm sticking the spare piece of wire back up into the base, and again I'm hitting a twig there, so just bending it back up into the base, and there it is secure into it. And then if you want to put a little ribbon on it, so I have this kind of like fabric
just finish off about the webinar.
Oh, the webinar, sorry, yeah. So we have this amazing idea, you know, that way. And of course, me and Deirdre, and we're all excited. I think we organised this on one of our trips in the car. When we're in the car, we literally always organise like a new class. So we had, we're going to do this suspended arrangement, and we're going to have anthuriums and roses and ilex and Christmas spruce and loads of twigs, and it's just going to be feckin' amazing. And then we got
it's actually going to be very easy.
It's going to be so easy, because Originally, when we were in the car, this was going to be such a technical kind of like arrangement that I was going to do. I was going to be hanging out the ceiling on ladders, and I'm going to do it in my own house and so on. But lo and behold, we came across a little trick, okay? And we had a little trial run on it yesterday. Could do with a sharper scissors here. We did a trial run on it yesterday because, as I said, it was something that I hadn't done before. It was all in my head. My head was bursting with ideas. And oh my God, if I say so myself, it's going to be feckin' brilliant, okay? So it's going to be on the 6th of December, okay? It's a Wednesday evening. It's 7 o'clock, okay, start. You have to sign up for it. It's not like, it is free, but it's not like one of these free classes that you can watch it later on or join in at any time. You will get like a Zoom link to it. It's exclusive, okay? So you have to sign up for it. It's exclusive. If you snooze, you lose. So if you miss it, you won't be able to watch it on the replay. So what we recommend is that you have, I was going to say a bottle of wine, but a glass of wine, do you know that way? A glass of wine on the night, you know what I mean? You can sit and you can enjoy it. It'll probably take us about 45 minutes up to an hour, you know that way. So again, it's a way of decorating your Christmas table, and this is just, you'll all do it. It's going to be so easy, it's going to be so cheap, you'll all be kicking yourself that you didn't think of it ahead of me. So I've just added in a little ribbon there, you know, that way, there's two little strings coming down out.
Sorry, Jeanette, there's a question over on TikTok from Badgers and Blue. Question for Kay. If you were to give one tip for flowers for doing your own wedding, what would it be? Don't do it.
Don't do your own wedding. It says her who's done her own two weddings. I got married twice and I done my own flowers twice. Unless you're trained, okay? If you're trained at it, no problem at all, because you just treat it like another job, you know that way. But if you're untrained and you don't know what you're doing, you're absolutely mad. Your fingers are going to be in bits. I don't know whether you're female or male. I broke a nail last night. Now imagine it was my wedding, you know that way, and now one of my nails broke. You can see the dirt to my hands, you know that way. So your hands will be in bits. If there's thorns on the roses, and while you're treating and conditioning them, I know I sound like I'm turning you off. I think you'd be mad. And where the day before your wedding, you should be off getting a massage, a manicure, a facial, meeting all your friends, having champagne, dipping strawberries in chocolate, having an absolutely amazing, relaxing day the day before your wedding. You are going to be up to your tits with pressure, stressed out to the last, nails in bits, spots on your skin.
That's what she said, that's the
fat
answer.
as a fool eating chocolate because you're going to be so stressed you're not going to fit into the wedding dress or whatever. No, don't do it. You'd be mad. You'd be
That's
mad.
the
Unless
answer.
you're mad like
She
me.
said, that's the answer I needed. Thank you. I'm off to the florist. There's a couple of people asking for the webinar link. If you are interested in the, she's laughing at you. If you're interested in the webinar link and you're on or you're on Facebook or you're on YouTube, just comment and say, can I have the link to the webinar? If you're on Instagram, the webinar link is in our bio. So just click into our bio and you'll see it there. If you're on TikTok, it's also in the bio. So click into the bio on TikTok and the link to the webinar is there. If you can't find it.
It's going to be an amazing evening, you know that way. Like, I guarantee, like, you're going to learn loads. And even if you don't copy it, well, you will copy it.
I actually think they will, yeah.
I was up in my friend's house last night and I you know what I mean, and she had a long rectangle table. And I said, oh, Catherine, I said, wait till you see what we're going to be doing next Wednesday night. I said, you will absolutely love it. I said, you'll love it for your own kitchen table. And Deirdre is already planning on doing an artificial one.
Yeah.
Now, whether we'll do that as a class, I'm not sure. But she's going to do an artificial one for her house eventually. But the one I'm going to do will be fresh. And I'm using amazing Portanova Naomi red roses. When you see the anthuriums I have ordered in, they're green and red. And the ilex, you know that way, the ilex berry,
and
oh my God.
Massive selection of foliage.
Yeah.
So there's loads of people looking for the webinar link, yeah.
Yes,
so
I tell you, it's going to be a great night. And it's free, you know
it's
what I mean?
free, yeah.
Absolutely.
And we'll have
beer.
Yeah.
You have to bring your own beer or bring your own wine. And we'll more than likely be having a glass of wine. And it's going to be a bit of crack, you know, that way. And the only thing is, when you're knocking at my hall door, be gentle with that crack in the glass. I'm only slagging, you won't be coming to my house. But it will be, we're kind of calling it at home with Jeanette, you know that way. So it's going to be in the kitchen, in my own kitchen. I don't have a dining room. Okay, it's a kitchen come dining room. Or eat your dinner in the same room as where it's been cooked. That's my house. And I'm sure the rest of you are probably, most of you there are going to be exactly the same.
But this is not going to be, it is going to be luxury, but it's luxury on budget.
For everybody. Yeah. Luxury on a budget, yes. So for anyone that hasn't got a posh dining room, cook your dinner on one side of the kitchen.
And you still have your full kitchen table.
Yeah, there'll be no room. You can still have your 20 odd people sitting down for dinner at the table, all squashed, looking at empty plates. But they'll be looking at amazing flowers, you know, that way. Anyway, that's it. So if you want the link, request it there in the comments and we'll respond to them all later on. Listen, thanks a million everyone for listening to me yabbling on and telling you all about me cracked
Noreen is only dropping in now.
Jesus, Noreen, where are you all day there? We're have to be looking there for links. The link for the webinar, we get a chance there, sitting on your arse doing nothing. Okay, everyone, thanks a million for joining in. Have a great day.
Just hold up the wreath again.
Wexford, drop into the Talbot Hotel in Stillorgan. You'll see us in the bar tonight. 2 gin and tonics. Make sure it's line tonic. We have to fit into the dresses tomorrow.
Hold up the wreath.
Okay, there you go. So there is your winter door wreath with a little bit of Christmassy, you know what I mean? Just kind of getting us into the season. Though Deirdre has her Christmas decorations up already. Who else here has their Christmas tree up? Comment below, let me know who has their tree up. My own daughter-in-law, she sent photographs last night. She put her Christmas tree up. So I'm hoping, I said to my husband and my son, I'll be away for 2 nights, I said. So I'm half hoping when I come home on Thursday that they're going to surprise me. The door will be fixed and the Christmas tree will be up. Okay, listen everyone, thanks a million for joining in. Have a fantastic day. See you all maybe in Wexford and I'll talk to you all very soon. See you then. Bye bye.